And welcome back to CentralCoastRadio.com, where we take a look at a lot of films on this program, but there is little doubt that one of the most important documentaries to come out this year is a brand new film called Our Voice, Our Heart, which had its world premiere at the Darwin International Film Festival. This is an absolutely amazing documentary that really takes its audience on a journey with the subjects of the documentary as well. So to tell us a little bit about Our Voice, Our Heart, we actually have the people from behind this film with us right now. Lawrence, Jackson, and Justin, welcome to the program, all of you.
Thanks for having us.
So, Lawrence, I might start with you. Tell us a little bit about how the idea for this documentary first came about, and what will people experience when they watch this documentary?
Well, I guess the idea was pretty simple. We found that everybody was finding it very difficult to talk about the referendum. And regardless of, which way you might feel or want to vote, we felt like there was a real gap in learning about the context of it. And so we thought, all right, how can we make a film that addresses that educational need and that gives people the confidence to be able to answer their own questions or even start talking about it?
So Jackson,
and in terms of sorry, you go.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, to answer the other part of your question, I guess what can people expect to experience? I think we kind of went about answering that question by saying, all right, let's start with a clean slate. And that's what Jackson and Justin did. They kind of put their hands up and say, we're Indigenous men and we want to learn what this is about, because we feel like there's a lot of Australians that don't know and we don't know ourselves. And so that's essentially the journey we go on.
Awesome. So I'll ask you both separately, but Jackson, first of all, for you, what made you put your hand up to be part of this documentary?
Well, the approach was the make or break for me. The fact that we were, approaching this journey with a neutral lens. So, speaking to everybody, not having an agenda coming into communities or any conversations, and that's something I'm a big fan of. I've had my uni studies to thank for that in terms of analysing subjects and topics critically. So the fact that we had a neutral standpoint and listened to all that were willing to talk to us and share whatever they could was the best way to, produce a good film and something that people can, really extract meaning from.
And Justin, same question for you. What made you put your hand up for this documentary?
I originally came on as the cultural protocol officer to manage, crew and actors out in community. And, I put my hand up and I said, hey, if you want, happy to act in this. We can always test it out either way or work on the film. And then, we just kind of went from there.
Lawrence, when that original idea got put into place and then you started to go out and film this, tell us a little bit about that journey. What was that like, getting out there and actually working on this documentary?
Well, like nothing else I've ever worked on before. I think anybody that spends time, filming in community, things run very differently, where flexibility is key, I think. But really, we wanted to make sure that this was done in the right way. We were asking, the thoughts and the time of other people. And so really the experience was one of, we presenting our, who we were and what we wanted to do and trying to find the right people that we could talk to and try to, be available when other people were available and logistically it works very differently to another film where you might have a production schedule and you stick to that schedule. In this case, the schedule goes out the window and you just deal with real people in the times that they're available.
Lawrence, one of the things we've found with this referendum is that in 2023, having a vote like this, people seem to come out and either be for or against and very, very strong with their views. How did you find that going out into the community and asking people to be part of a film that's looking at something that people have such strong views on?
Yeah, I think we found that, the strong views might be the ones that we hear, but I think that in my experience, most people live in the grey. They have questions on either side.
Yeah.
And I think in community we experienced exactly that. I think there's a lot of people with distrusts and concerns around what's happened in the past. And then we also experience people with hope and that can see a powerful future. But at the same time, everybody comes with it with certain reservations, and sometimes for some people those reservations are too large to support it. I think that's probably the overall sense that we experienced.
So Jackson, tell us, what was the one thing that stood out to you the most while you were making this documentary? Was there something that really stuck in your mind when you're out there in community and talking to people?
One of the things definitely that comes to mind is just when you enter these communities and much like what Justin's gone up before, demonstrating cultural protocol. It's just I was reminded of how embracing and warm community people can be, and they can make you feel like family within the hour of meeting them. That's how lovely it was, and that was probably one of my favourite parts because it reminded me of what it was like when I did live in communities a lot as a kid, going from one community to another, because I went to 8 different schools in total, so I had to learn how to make friends and just live that kind of lifestyle. And in those communities, you just treated as with such respect and dignity. When you come about it, you approach people the right way, and you just be yourself. It's the nature of people among communities. It's really beautiful.
And Justin, same question for you. What stood out the most for you while you were working on this film?
Being back on my country was pretty special. I think, because, I moved away from the Northern Territory when I was 17 to go down to Melbourne, and, was there for 16 years, and coming back home, back onto my family's country was a big eye-opener for me, seeing the political change, because I don't really consider myself a political kind of guy.
Yeah.
But when I went back home, I learned that, my family, Vincent Lingari.
Yes, yep.
Who did the walk-off, had made this big change in my family and that. And I went back home expecting something that not knowing what to expect, thinking that political regime back in the past has made a change in a community, but the struggles there were still happening. And then going around and meeting other communities and seeing different struggles. But, the same way, it kind of like, going back onto my country, they kind of told me to be humble and be strong with your words. And I took that as much as I could into each community, and I learned more and more how to empower myself from meeting different cultures and clans, as different warriors, I suppose. I think was the real big takeaway, is meeting these different warriors out on community that are fighting for change.
Definitely. Lawrence, we mentioned before that the film had its world premiere at the Darwin International Film Festival. Where can our listeners watch the film now?
Yeah, so we were lucky enough to get a distribution deal with Umbrella Entertainment. So at the moment we're in the middle of a small cinema run. So it's being shown at event cinemas in Palmerston, in Queensland and in Victoria. And then we will go on then at NITV and SBS On Demand from the 3rd of October. It will be available to all and anyone.
Awesome. So to finish off, Jackson, What would you like to say to people before they sit down to watch this amazing film?
That's a good question. I guess just hope you get something out of it and can see the benefit in pursuing information the right way. Going to people's homelands, home grounds, to ask them questions and be willing to take in whatever they're willing to share. And it's just that, it really puts the importance, or reminds people the importance of face-to-face conversations and actively listening. That's what they can find a good demonstration of.
Definitely. Same for you, Justin. What would you like people to take away from the film?
What I would like, I suppose we're all artists, but I'd like everyone to come on this journey with us, If you're not political, if you don't know where to vote, even if you do know where to vote, I think come on this journey and be open-minded and, let's go into these communities together as you watch this film, and hopefully, you get as much out of it as we do. Beautiful countrysides, beautiful places, different traditions. These are the important things that we want to showcase to everyone. And with this referendum coming up, let's touch base with the communities and see what they think.